Welcome to World News by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you value calm, balanced, and fact-based coverage of political developments, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Today we examine a contentious debate within the Republican Party over statements associated with anti-Semitism, involving presidential contender J.D. Vance, former President Donald Trump, and broader questions about how political leaders address hate speech and discrimination. In recent days, J.D. Vance, a Republican candidate in the 2024 presidential race, made remarks about anti-Semitism that have drawn both support and criticism. The controversy centers on whether his language properly condemned hatred toward Jewish communities, or if it wavered in addressing the full moral and political weight of anti-Semitism. Vance's relationship with Donald Trump adds another layer to the debate. Throughout his candidacy, Vance has positioned himself as a loyal supporter of Trump's policies and leadership style, while seeking to carve out his own political identity. Trump himself has been both criticized and defended over his past comments and associations, particularly on issues tied to religion, identity, and race. Critics from both sides of the aisle argue that public figures carry a heightened responsibility when discussing sensitive topics like anti-Semitism, for Jewish Americans and for many voters concerned about religious freedom and social cohesion. Clear, unequivocal rejection of hate is expected from national leaders. Supporters of Vance, however, point out his broader record on cultural issues and argue that his language may have been mischaracterized or taken out of context. News coverage has reflected this divide. Some outlets emphasize the broader implications of political rhetoric in an era of intensified polarization, while others focus on intra-party dynamics and how statements may be used by opponents to score political points. The debate also highlights a tension within the Republican Party itself. On one hand, the party seeks to maintain and broaden its coalition. On the other hand, a vocal faction prioritizes cultural issues and a confrontational political style that may blur lines between strong critique and harmful rhetoric. In this heated environment, even carefully worded statements can become flashpoints. This controversy is about more than one speech or one candidate. It intersects with larger questions about how the United States, a diverse, pluralistic society, navigates political discourse around identity, religion, and national values. Antisemitism directly touches on the safety and dignity of Jewish communities, not just in the US, but globally. As a historical and contemporary form of hate, it carries deep wounds and strong reactions. Politicians' language around the issue can signal empathy and understanding, or if mishandled, insensitivity and division. For many voters, genuine condemnation of bigotry is non-negotiable. For others, debates about tone and context become enmeshed with broader ideological battles. Within the GOP, the debate raises questions about party identity. Will Republican leaders emphasize unity, inclusion, and broad moral clarity on hate, or will cultural and media battles continue to shape how issues like anti-Semitism are discussed, sometimes at the expense of nuance and empathy? These are not just rhetorical questions. They reflect competing visions of what the party stands for and how it engages with diverse constituencies. Outside the Republican Party, Democrats and independent observers have weighed in, arguing that the episode reflects deeper challenges in U.S. politics. The growing influence of polarized media environments, the erosion of shared moral language, and the strategic use of cultural flashpoints for political gain. Internationally, debates about anti-Semitism in U.S. discourse resonate with observers in Europe, the Middle East, and beyond, where tensions over religion, identity, and nationalism similarly shape politics and social life. American leadership on issues of religious tolerance and human rights is watched closely, and how domestic political figures address these issues can influence perceptions of U.S. credibility abroad. Ultimately, the ongoing debate around Vance, Trump, and anti-Semitism underscores a broader reality. Words matter. In a time of heightened political tension, leaders are counted not just for what they achieve in policy, but for how they address the fears, values, and dignity of all citizens. Thank you for watching this analysis on World News by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you found this report insightful, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Independent, thoughtful reporting helps us make sense of complex political debates. Stay informed, and see you in the next update.